Hi guys, Namaskar. I'm Rakesh Dalal and this is my free Elimination Techniques course. In today's practice question, I gave two statements question with the traditional kind of options. So there are two ways in which the two statement questions have been asked. The first is the way with the traditional options, that is one only, two only, both one and two, and neither one nor two. And the other way is the assertion reason kind of statements, the ones which were given in 2023, wherein first statement, second statement was given, and then the options said that only the first statement is correct, but the second is not correct, or only the second is correct, the first is not correct, the second is an explanation of the first, and both are correct, and both are correct, and the second is not the explanation of the first, right? So these were the newer options, the newer kind of questions, and the other one is the traditional question. So a combination of both of these types was given in the 2023 paper. This particular question is of the traditional variety, and the difference in these two varieties is that in the traditional variety, you need to solve both the statements to mark the answer, and in the newer kind of options, the newer variety, even just one statement was enough to solve many of the questions, right? So I can't really say whether this trend will continue in the future or not, but at least in 2023, in many questions, just solving one of the statements was enough to help us arrive at the answer, right? Next year it might change, but we have to be prepared for both cases. So in this particular question, the first statement said, of all countries in the world, India has the highest number of child marriages. And the second statement said, of all countries, India has the highest ratio of child marriages to total marriages, of course, right? So this question was about the topic of child marriages. Child marriage is a topic which is important for mains also. So these kind of questions can be asked. The difference between the two statements is that the first one is focusing on the absolute number of child marriages, how many child marriages happened in the country, and the second talked about the ratio of child marriages to total marriages happening in India, right? So uh, this is key in answering the two statements. The question is asking which of the above statements are correct, right? So you have to be very careful whether correct statements are to be identified or the incorrect statements are to be identified. So the first statement, India is world's largest, like it's amongst the largest populated countries in the world. So in terms of total number of child marriages happening in India, the first statement has got a high probability of being correct, because the stress here is on the absolute number of marriages and not on any percentage figure or any ratio. So from that angle, even if we don't know the numbers of other countries or even the numbers happening in India, but still, just because the statement is saying India has got the highest number of child marriages, this statement has a high chance of being correct than incorrect, because India is amongst the largest populated countries in the world, and child marriages is a topic which is in news from negative angle, like we are still having a substantial number of child marriages in the country. That is the negative angle. If we were doing very well in child marriages, that would be positive angle. The news would be that the topic of child marriage would be in news from that context. But if it is in negative context, from that angle, we can say that the first statement has a higher chance of being correct than being incorrect. All right. So the first statement has a high chance of being correct. The second statement says India has the highest ratio of child marriages. Now, the second statement is focusing on the uh, percentage of total marriages, child marriages as a percentage of total marriages. Now, this is a more equitable figure. Like, it doesn't really matter how many people are there in a country in terms of number of the population. The number of the amount of population does not matter in the second statement. It is the ratio of child marriages to total marriages in any given country. And we know for a fact that child marriages, uh, lot of it has to do with poverty and lack of education, right? So the more the poverty and the more the illiteracy, the higher will be the child marriages in any country. So India is not amongst the poorest and the most illiterate countries in the world, right? We have countries which are poorer and more illiterate than India. So the ratio of child marriages to total marriages will be higher in those countries and not in India, right? So certainly India will not have the highest ratio of child marriages to total marriages, right? So this was one of the ways in which you can approach this question. In case you solve this question correctly via any other approach, let me know in the comments. The answer therefore to this question will be alpha. That is only the first statement is correct. Now I'm not putting it, via this pen here, because somebody who has not solved the question will be able to see the answer just like that. So I'm not marking it on the screen, but the answer to this question is alpha. That is one only the first statement is correct. If you wish to solve these kind of questions practically, like you want to see the ratio of how many people are attempting, what is your accuracy versus the accuracy of others. If you wish to attend the free elimination workshops that I conduct, weekly workshops I conduct, you have to join my Telegram channel, the free Elimination Techniques course Telegram channel. The link of this channel will be given in the description of this video. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.